Ladies and gentlemen, there are only three things guaranteed in this world: death, taxes, and the X Factor Daily NBA Show. Welcome back for another episode of the Daily NBA Show here in the X Factor. We got a lot of stuff coming your way this week, so be sure to stay tuned in. Holiday week. Hope everybody stays safe and enjoys the holiday, but also enjoy some X Factor content. Tell some friends, tell some family, but we'll get right into it here. But before we begin, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll get right into it. The Philadelphia 76ers came out on top against the Brooklyn Nets 115 to 106. Kind of a disappointing game. This is Ben Simmons' first game back in Philadelphia. So you kind of expected like the fans to, just be hardcore. There was some booing, there was some chanting, but nothing like you would have expected from a hardcore fan base like Philadelphia. No Joel Embiid, no Tyrese Maxey, no James Harden. So I think from like the obvious look was like, okay, this isn't going to be a good watch. The Nets are going to win. But obviously, 76ers came out on top. Tobias Harris had 24, 6, and 3, shot 10 to 21. I thought he played pretty well for them, potentially raising his draft stock, who knows, or his trade stock. Paul Reed, I love this guy. I mentioned him either last year or early this year during the summer, but I really like him. I wish they would play him more. He played 31 minutes. He had 19 and 10 off the bench, 7 and 9 from the field. I just love his energy. He's a really good athlete. I really like him there. A guy like Montrezl Harrell, get him out. D'Anthony Melton had 22, Shake Milton's with 16, and George Niang with 16 off the bench as well. George Niang's playing really, really good for them. He shot 4 or 5 from three. I've really liked what I've seen from him. He's been a firepower for them off the bench that they really needed. That you would have thought it would be, someone you thought it would have been like D'Anthony Melton or Shake Milton, but he's been that consistent go-to guy for them off the bench up to this point. I really, really like it. PJ Tucker continues to just not score the basketball. He shot 0 of 6, 0 of 2 from three. I just think that's funny. And for the Nets, Kevin Durant, 25 and 5 with 2 blocks, 9 of 14 from the field. Kyrie Irving's first game back, he 23 points, 10 of 18 from the field. Kyrie's not missing a beat. After all this time off, he's still able to come in and shoot pretty well. Good for him. Ben Simmons with 11, 7 rebounds, and 11 assists. He's slowly working his way back into, being like a good player, I guess. I just I feel like people are like really trying to hype him up because it's like, okay, we're finally seeing him play good basketball again, but come on. And it's still in these late in games, he's not able to do anything for them. Seth Curry off the bench had 14 points. Nick Claxton with 12. Royce O'Neal with 11. So that's the story there. Good game out in Philadelphia. The 76ers 9 and 8 now. The red hot Sacramento Kings continue to roll their 7th win in a row. They're sitting at 10 and 6. They beat the Grizzlies last night 113 to 109. Ja Morant was back. He was supposed to be out for a while, but he was back. 34, 7 and 6, 12 and 21 from the field. Good for him. Jaren Jackson Jr. had 22. Dillon Brooks with 14. Nobody else really stepped up there. I'm interested in this Grizzlies team. I feel like I had it like I was ready for this take because Ja was supposed to be out, Ja's back, Desmond Bane's out, Jaren Jackson Jr. Can he stay healthy? I think this team needs to make a trade to bring some firepower off their bench. A guy like we've seen today, like the Pistons are taking calls for Sadiq Bey. That would be interesting. Bojan Bogdanovic would be interesting. I came out with a trade video last week. Go check that out if you haven't. And for the Kings, Harrison Barnes. I mean, I think it's not a coincidence that Harrison Barnes starts playing really well for them and they win 7 in a row. 26 points, 7 of 13 from the field, 4 of 8 from 3. De'Aaron Fox had 34, 8, 6, and 4 steals. Just continues to be dominant. Sabonis with an off night, and they were still able to get the job done. He finished with 9 and 13 and 8 assists. Kevin Huerter, 18 points, 6 of 10 from the field, 4 of 7 from 3. He has just been very, very good for this team, and I really love this pickup. And Malik Monk with 14 off the bench as well. Kings are rolling. It's a lot of fun to watch. If you're a basketball fan in general, you don't have like a biased fan base, kind of like me. This watching Sacramento play this well just makes my heart happy, and I feel like it should with you too. Just when I want to give up on the Pistons, they pull out a win against the Denver Nuggets. I mean, the Pistons are 4-15, right? Yeah, 4-15 right now. So I mean, I should give up on them entirely, but pull out a victory like this is impressive nonetheless. Bogdanovich had 22 points, 9 rebounds. Marvin Bagley, 14 points. Alec Burks, solid for them up to this point. 21 points off the bench. Kevin Knox was 17 and 8 off the bench. Really, the first time I've ever seen anything from him this season, and maybe half of last season as well. So good for him. This Pistons team, like Alec Burks, I think could be a trade candidate. Bogdanovich could be a trade candidate. Saddiq Bey is a trade candidate, apparently. Cade Cunningham's out, potential shin surgery. So I think the potential, for this team to really just give in and tank and try to trade away is there. It breaks my heart because I was really high on this team, but I understand. And for the Nuggets, Michael Porter Jr. with 18 and 8, Aaron Gordon with 17 and 7, Jokic with 31, 9 and 10. He played 36 minutes, and I think that's important because when he's on the bench, this team struggles. The Pistons were able to win this game because they went on two big runs when he was on the bench. And I think it's key that this Nuggets team needs to go get a guy off their bench to help defensively. Bruce Brown with 11 off the bench. Jamal Murray had 10 points. He shot 3 of 12. I think he had three turnovers too. So I mean, when you're making as many shots as you're turning the ball over, it's not a good night. I'm not gonna freak out about this Nuggets team, but I think a lot of people considered them to be potential championship contenders, and I just don't see it. And for the final game last night, a chippy game out in Phoenix, 115-105. The Phoenix Suns came in on top over the Lakers. For the Lakers, Anthony Davis continues to play really well, 37, 21, 5 steals, 5 blocks. I mean, that's peak AD. That's what we want to see every night from AD if he can stay healthy, if him and LeBron can play together really well. I don't think we've really seen that. So I'm interested to see what happens when LeBron comes back. Lonnie Walker, 24 points for them. Russell Westbrook off the bench, 21, 3 and 5, 8 of 20 from the field. So 40%, not terrible. You would love, but you're going to get, what you're going to get out of Russ. And for the Suns, Mikal Bridges, 25, 6 and 3. Ayton had 14 and 15. Devin Booker with 25. Dwayne Washington Jr. off the bench with 15. This game got chippy. The Suns are kind of that kind of team that they like to talk trash. They like to get up in you. It's a chippy game and whatnot. Patrick Beverley, he's a coward. He's not, I'm sick and tired of seeing stuff like this from Patrick Beverley. It's about all he can do in the league, if you ask me. So there's not much really I can add. It's stupid. I hope, Patrick Beverley should be suspended a game at least. But nonetheless, I'm not going to waste any more breath on it. Start all the games for tonight. We got a packed house tonight. No games to Thursday, as you know, it's Thanksgiving. So we'll start tonight, 7 o'clock. The Philadelphia 76ers take on the Hornets at home. Give me the 76ers. I do think the Hornets could pull this out with no star power for the 76ers rather, but I'm going to go with the 76ers. 7 o'clock, Trailblazers take on the Cavaliers. If you're an NBA fan, please watch this game for me because I'm unable to because of the stupid blackout restrictions. So please watch this on my behalf. I will go with the Cavaliers at home. I think we're really starting to see them get rolling now. They got that losing streak out of the way. Let's see them pop off some wins. The Pacers take on the Timberwolves. I'm going to go with the Pacers. I think the Pacers are just a better team. And I do, Miles Turner versus Karl-Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert, okay. But I think this three-point shooting from the Pacers, they shoot like the most three-pointers in the league. And they have the skill set to do so. So I'm going to go with the Pacers. 7:30 on ESPN, the Mavericks take on the Celtics in Boston. As much as it hurts me, I'm going to go with the Boston Celtics. They're the best team in the league. And at home, I don't see them losing to a team that's still trying to find their identity, oddly enough, in the Mavericks. Also at 7:30, the Hawks take on the Kings. Man, I love the idea of this game. I'm going to try to watch as much as I can of this game. I will go with the Kings, though. I think they're red hot. Let's keep it rolling. Trae Young's really struggling from the field. So I'm going to go with the Kings. 7:30, the Heat take on the Washington Wizards. I'm going to go with the Washington Wizards. These two teams played a couple nights ago. The Heat played 7 guys. But I do like the momentum that the Washington Wizards have. The Raptors host the Nets at 7:30. I'm going to go with the Raptors off a back-to-back. from the Nets, I don't know. The fact that Kyrie's back, I'd be a little bit more confident. But I think I really like what I've seen out of this Raptors team, even though they're 9-8. 8 o'clock, the Bucks take on the Bulls. I'm going to go with the Bucks, second best team in basketball right now, arguably the first. Giannis, I expect to have a big night. The Nuggets take on the Thunder at 8 o'clock. I'm going to go with the Thunder. I think this is a fun team that has the potential to go on big runs. And like we saw last night, when Jokic is on the bench, they can't control teams from going on runs. So I'm going to go with the Thunder there. At 8 o'clock, the Spurs take on the Pelicans. I think the Spurs are fine. They're going to be the first team we really noticed submit fully into a tank. They rest guys randomly. And I just don't think they're very good. Give me the Pelicans. The Jazz host the Pistons at 9 o'clock. I'm going to go with the Jazz. Lauri Markkanen's a phenomenal watch. This Jazz team's fun to watch. I think Mike Conley's out for an extended amount of time, but nonetheless, I do expect this Jazz team to pull out on top. And finally, at 10 o'clock, the Clippers take on the Warriors in Golden State. I'm going to go with the Clippers here. I just think that they have enough offensive pieces to really challenge this Warriors defense. So give me the Clippers there. But like I said, we got a lot of stuff coming your way this week, even with the holiday. So be sure to tune in. We got our weekly pod coming out tomorrow. We got a special buying and selling of disappointing stock in the NBA season up to this point video coming out soon. So be sure to stay tuned, like, comment, subscribe, tell some friends when you're sitting around the Thanksgiving dinner table. Have a good holiday. We'll see you all tomorrow.